Today we're putting up the Aurdal system from Ikea into this closet right here. And when you go to Ikea, nothing is going to be organized. And so they're going to give you all these random pieces, but it's not going to tell you which one to open first. That's why I'm here, because I'm going to tell you which one that you should open first. And inside of these directions right here, probably need to start with the actual mounting bracket. And this is the mounting brackets. The materials you're gonna need to mount this: flathead screwdriver, a drill, tape measure, some kind of level. Ikea isn't gonna give you any hardware to mount this, so you gotta get your own screws. I know that I said you need a flathead. You really need a flathead or a screwdriver, depending on what kind of hardware you use. So I had some leftover screws outside that are your typical Phillips, so I'm gonna just go with that. Now you're gonna measure from the floor up, somewhere between 77 and 9/16 of an inch and 77 and 61 and 64ths of an inch. I'm gonna put that on the screen because I don't even know if I said that right. I Googled it. So to find 9/16, for those who don't know, you find the half mark and then you choose this little tick that's right after the half mark. This is 9/16. The bottom of the bracket is where I measured from the ground up, 77 and 9/16 of an inch, and I marked that on the wall. I also measured from one side of the wall to the other, then divided that measurement by 2 to get the center of the wall. Use the stud finder to find the studs and drill your hardware into those. If you can't find any, I'd highly recommend using screw anchors for security. I put as many screws into my mounting brackets as I had because I wanted it to be pretty secure. I'll link a video on the screen on how to find a stud and how to use an anchor. Now you want to open these bigger flat boxes. On the top, there's going to be a notch. That side is going to go on the mounting bracket that we just put on the wall. And at the bottom, there are going to be 2 holes. That's where we're going to mount our legs. This side right here is the back. This side right here is the front. Locate your hardware and open your leg. We're going to screw this on the bottom for the leg and insert that into the 2 holes. Locate this piece here and it goes in the second hole behind the leg. Make sure it's fully inserted. Then locate this piece here, then insert that into that hole. Locate this rubber tab. It's going to go on the back bottom and this is going to protect the wall. Let's mount this onto our mounting bracket, and I went ahead and did the other side as well. The Aurdal shelves come with 4 of these screws right here and 4 of these little mounting things. Now if you take a closer look at the mount, you'll see that one side is flush and the other side has a little bit of a lip. This is the side that the screw goes into, the side with the lip, and that lip is for the screw to sit a little more flush. The side that's already flush, that's the side that's going to be against the inside of the shelf. Now when you screw these in, the round part faces towards the ceiling and the flat part faces towards the floor. That's the bottom. We're going to screw these into the very top pre-marked holes on each side. So you should have one in the front, one in the back, and then on the other side, one in the front, one in the back. You see these notches? One side has more space from the notch to the border of the shelf compared to the other side. The side with more space is the front border of the shelf, and the side with less space is the back border of the shelf. This is going to be very important if you're putting this over a drawer, because there's going to be a notable space that's not supposed to be there if you put it on backwards. So you'll see that later in the video and I will point that to your attention. Now let's go ahead and put our shelf on. Now we're doing this, you got to put a little bit of pressure on it, which you see me putting pretty much my body weight on there. And the front of our shelf is flush to the sides of our system. Now you want to locate the rubber piece, put it right here on the mount. This keeps the whole shelf system from sliding from left to right and keeps it in place for the most part. Here I'm adding the bottom shelf on using the same method that y'all seen earlier. I've been having my guy in here painting the room, working on some doors, trying to get vents and stuff together. So everything was pretty noisy, so I had to do a voiceover. The packages that look like this is the drawer, and the packages that look like this is the front of the drawer. You got your drawer slides. These are the sides. This is the back of the door with the wheels on it. And then this is the hardware you need for the drawer. You'll open this part right here. and this is the bottom of the drawer. So we know that this is the back of the drawer, but we need to figure out what side faces towards the wall. This flat side over here faces the front towards the room, and then this side over here faces the back. The wheels are gonna be on top. If you're looking at my shelf, this is how the back drawer is gonna be oriented. Next, you wanna grab one of these pieces here and figure out which one is the left and which one is the right. The way that you do that is by looking at the back of your drawer. Remember, this is the front, this is the back of the drawer, and looking at these tabs right here. These tabs slide into these holes right here, and these circles right here are going to be facing towards the front. This one is the left side of the drawer, and it's going to fit just like this. You see how that bell shaped is on the front? Your hooks are on the back. They're going to hook right into these pieces here. Put that right there and pull down. Now watch how I turn it back around. This is the back drawer, this is the left side, and if I turn it this way, you can see that I have these two hooked in like that. Find your hooks. This is the front of the drawer. Turn it to the side, find your hooks. That's how the side of it should look, just like this. You're gonna grab the bottom part of your drawer. Remember, I said that the wheels, that's the top. So if you turn it like this, now this side right here is the bottom. The side that's opposite, if the wheels are on this side, then this side right here is the bottom. I don't want this showing when I'm opening my drawers. I'm gonna slide it down this way since this side right here is the bottom. And you can see the slots that they're gonna slide into. It's one on each side. Now you know you've done it correctly if there's only about 1/4 of an inch of this sticking out. If you have more than this, you assembled these pieces right here incorrectly, and you need to go back and review. Now you want to open your drawer face. You want to have this side with all the pre-cut holes and the slots facing up, but you want the line faced on the opposite side away from you, just like this orientation is to me. The line should be on the opposite side of you. Take your drawer. The bottom of your drawer slit is going to fit right into this long line right here. Now you want to open this hardware right here, and the lip right there with the flip, you want it to be facing the inner side of the drawer, and you're going to just drop it in to those holes, and they won't fit unless the holes are lined up. So this is what you have. Then you're going to push this down. That's as far as it goes. And now that's locked into place. Same thing on this side. Now we have to mount these on the walls. They're labeled with an R right here for right and the L for left. Your wheel is going to be on the front side facing the room, and you're going to use this hole for the front screw and this hole for the back screw. Now, if your drill doesn't have settings on it, it's probably safer to use a screwdriver, but if your drill does have settings on it, you need to turn it down to maybe like 5 or 6. You just don't want to torque it all the way up as high as it goes, because it can kind of mess up the screw hole. If you want your drawer to be right here at the bottom, you want to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's one right here, and then 6. So you need to put your screws on the 6th hole in the front and the back for it to be flush to the bottom of the system. So the wheel on the back of the drawer needs to drop right over that wheel to slide in. All right, I want to go ahead and let you know you will not be able to get this drawer tight like this right here. I've already tried it. It just won't happen because the top drawer will be bumping into the bottom one and it won't close. Looking at the holes right here, you got to count up from here, and on the 7th hole is where you're going to put your next drawer at. 5, 6, 7. I'm going to grab the bracket that has the L on it first for the left side. Don't torque it all the way down just yet until you get the back one in. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, we got the left side on. Now let's put our drawer in. Just going to slide it in. So this is about as tight of a fit as you're going to get. I'm going to continue to count 7 holes up, and I'm going to put my other 2 drawers in. Now we got all 4 drawers in. As you can see, the top drawer is just wide open on top because we need to put a shelf over top of the top drawer. We're going to put this anchor on this hole right here, the one that's right above the top of this drawer, because that's the tightest that we can get it. On the back side, it'll be this second one right back here. Now you're gonna take your notches, and that's where your anchor mounts are gonna go into these notches. Earlier in the video, I mentioned how it would look if you put the shelf on backwards. This is how the shelf looks when it's incorrectly installed. There's a space between the shelf and the drawer. If yours looks like this, just remove it, spin it around like a pizza, and reinstall it. Now keep in mind, if you do your drawers this tight together, it's gonna be tough to kind of fit your fingers in there to open the drawer. We plan on putting drawer pulls on our drawers. If you feel like that's gonna be too tight, then just go up another dot when you're figuring out where to put your drawer tracks. We got all the shelves in, the drawers in, and we have 2 of the hanging bars on each side. I took some leftover trim that I had outside and I mounted it to the studs in the wall. And then I mounted the closet rack mounting bracket to that trim piece. So there's the really short screws that come with the mounting bars. You use the short screws for mounting it on the actual system right here. But over here, on whatever wall you mount it on, you're gonna need to use some different screws. I used, I think 2 or 2.5 inch wood screws, and you know, they work just fine. So you're gonna need your own screws to mount it to the wall or to the mounting bracket. We got the closet fully assembled. Now we're gonna start putting in clothes. That wraps up this video. I appreciate y'all for bearing with me. It's been a while since I shot a tutorial video. If you have any questions about this Ikea Aurdal system, just leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to get back with you. Also, we've been renovating this entire room for our daughter that we have on the way. We have a whole nother playlist of us renovating this room, from getting rid of the popcorn ceiling to painting the room, assembling all the furniture for the room. So I will put the link to the playlist on the screen as well. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. We hope y'all have a God-filled day. Peace.